Hello and welcome back to Apt for You. In this particular video, we will continue our discussion on diameter of binary tree. So earlier, we have already discussed about this problem, what is the problem and what actually diameter is. And we came up with a solution which had a complexity of order of n square. We also discussed why it had a complexity of order of n square. The reason was very simple, because we know that the time for computing a height of a tree, the function that we had designed, it took order of n time, right? And moreover, we also saw that whenever we are visiting any node, at every node we are doing a call on for finding the height of the left subtree and finding the height of the right subtree, isn't it? At every node, in the previous approach that we discussed, we were computing the height of the left subtree and computing the height of the right subtree. So this way you can see that at every node we are computing the height of the left subtree, right subtree, which means there is a, what we are doing is basically at every node we are computing the height, and we know the height takes order of n time to get computed, right? The time complexity of computing the height is order of n. Now if at every node you are calling this particular function height, then total time complexity is nothing but order of n into number of calls is order n. So basically order of n square is your time complexity of the problem that we discussed in the previous video. In this video we are going to optimize it to an order n solution. How can we do so? Let us come with a more optimized approach. Now if you pay attention to the problem, let me show you. The problem is to compute the diameter of a binary tree, and we also saw that there are two possibilities, that we can have a diameter passing through the root node, right? Passing through this main root node, isn't it? So this was a solution. Okay, not this red, right? Anyway, so there is a possibility that the diameter will pass through the root node, this root node of the entire tree. Or there is also a case where the diameter will not pass through this node, instead it will pass through a root of a subtree. For example, this path. You see this path. Now this time this is the root of this subtree, and it is not passing through this, it is passing through this, right? So in the previous approach, what did we do? We basically computed the height of left height, right height plus 1, comma, we found out the diameter of the left subtree, diameter of the right subtree, and the maximum of that we used to return. Can we make it more optimal? Yes, we can. How? You see, even here in this case, okay, even in this case, what we are doing, we are finding the left height, right height, adding 1 to it. Got the point? This is my diameter, right? Even in this case, at this tree, you are doing the same thing, isn't it? You are computing the left height, you are computing the right height, and you are adding 1 to it, and you are getting the diameter of this subtree. So can't we do one thing? Can't we say that finding the diameter is nothing but we are actually trying to find the height of every possible subtrees, isn't it? You see, here also we are trying to find the height. Here also actually it is diameter is nothing but, what did we do? We tried to find the height of the left height of this subtree, the right height of this subtree, and added 1 to it. So basically we can use the formula of finding the height to actually calculate the diameter. The only difference is the diameter can be said as left height plus right height plus 1. Got the point? The diameter can be said that diameter is equal to left height plus right height plus 1, right? Now for this particular case, left height, right height plus 1. Here the path is passing through the root node, but it may not always be true. So here what we are getting, like in this case, it is passing through this node, isn't it? So again it is also same thing for this subtree. If you consider this subtree, what is it like? Left height, right height plus 1. What the point? So what we are going to do is basically we are going to use our height function that we used to compute the height of a tree, right? We will not use the diameter function, we will just use the height function to actually find out that what is the diameter of this tree. How can we use that? Let us see. So let us quickly use the height function. So we will keep track of the maximum diameter, okay? Like if I say, what we are going to do is basically we are going to keep track of the maximum diameter, or in simple words, we are going to keep track of the maximum of the sum. left height plus right height plus 1. Okay, maximum value of this term at every time. So first time I will consider this root node, then left height, right height plus 1. I will keep track of that sum. Next time I will consider this subtree and do the same thing, left height, right height plus 1, and compare with the earlier sum that I have observed. If this sum is maximum than that, then I will basically keep track of this sum, update the maximum with this value, because this has got the maximum diameter. Got the point? So let us do the same thing again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to define a function height. So let me just define a function height. So what happens is basically I will now, they have asked me to find the diameter of the tree by giving me the root node, but I will basically call the height function. Done. I'll pass the root, that's it, and let us suppose receive it in some value like h equal to this. Done. Now what you're going to do is basically declare a global variable. I'll be using global variable, and suppose that global variable keeps track of the maximum diameter. So max d, suppose max d, so integer max d is equal to 0, or max diameter is equal to 0. Done. Let us now declare the function height. So integer height, and we used to receive a root node here. I hope you are now familiar with writing the height function. How do we compute the height of a tree? Basically we have a base condition which checks whether node if root is equal to null. If it is null, we return 0, right? Otherwise what we used to do is basically we used to compute the left height. So integer left height equal to 0, comma right height equal to 0. So we used to compute the left height of the tree. Left height of the tree is nothing but doing a recursive call on the root of left. Done. Compute the height of the subtree is equal to nothing but again recursive call on root of right. Done. Now what will we do? We will update our max d value. Max d value is equal to nothing but maximum of current max d value, comma the current maximum diameter will be what? Left height plus right height plus 1, isn't it? Once you found out the left height, whenever you are considering a subtree, okay, whenever you are considering a subtree, if you have already found its, whenever you are considering a subtree, if you have already found its left height, right height, then you can find its diameter of that subtree by adding left height plus right height plus 1, isn't it? That is what I am doing. The diameter of this subtree compared with the previous maximum diameter value, whichever is maximum, that will be initialized to maximum d, right? Okay, it's fine. And one more thing, remember in the maximum height height function what we do, we basically return 1 plus return, if you remember the height function, what do we return in this height function? The left height plus right height plus 1, isn't it? We return this value, isn't it? So same thing we are doing here. We are going to return the left height plus right height plus 1. This is nothing but the height function, exactly same as the height function that we generally do. This is the function height, isn't it? Exactly same that we have. Remember a problem that we solved to find out the height of a binary tree. This is the same code that we have written there. Only the difference is I have just written them separately. This line actually I have written it separately, but in that code all are combined into a single line, right? Okay, what is the difference? The difference is in this particular code I have just kept track of the maximum diameter, maximum value of left height plus right height plus 1, because this is what is giving me the diameter. This is nothing but diameter of subtree, isn't it? This value is itself a diameter. I have already explained in the diagram. We compute the left height, right height plus 1. So for every subtree we are computing left height plus right height plus 1, right? And we are comparing it with the maximum diameter. So I will keep track of the maximum diameter, and that is why I am updating the maximum diameter always. Whenever I come across a value which is maximum, I will update it immediately, and I will keep on finding the height of the tree. So this function will actually traverse how many times, right? Order of n. So the time complexity of this is nothing but order of n, this height function, right? Now what happens, this function will basically return me the height of the tree. It will return me what? The height of the tree. The height of the tree will basically be returned and stored into h. But remember, I am using max d as a global variable, and while this function was being executed, all the maximum updates are taking in the maxd, means this value is getting updated in maxd because it is a global variable, it is accessing it, right? So basically I will say here integer result is equal to maxd, and we will return nothing but maxd, because we know that once I had called the function height, while the height was being executed, the maximum values were getting updated in this variable, and it is a global variable here, right? So obviously I can now access that update value. Let me store it in the result, and let me return result. Let me return the result value. Done. So that's it from this particular code. Now code should work fine. Let us see. Yeah, it works fine, right? Okay, a slight mistake. Let me check the mistake. So where is the mistake? Let me just come up with the mistake. Alright, found the mistake. You see, when we are computing the height function, right? Remember the problem that we discussed for computing the height. What we used to do, we used to return 1 plus maximum of left height comma right height, right? The height function that we used to compute the height of a tree, we used to return this, isn't it? Maximum of left height comma right height, and add 1 to it. That will actually be the height of that subtree. So this is the correct thing to be written here. Okay, fine. So yeah, now let us compile it. So this was where I just got missing. It should be actually max of left height comma right height plus 1, right? Now let us submit the code. Yes, it works fine, right? So that's it from this video. I hope you got the idea about what is actually happening. You remember, see, we are just using diameter function for formality, right? We are not calling this function. Once they have asked us to compute the diameter, we are receiving the root and calling the function of height. So what we are going to do is, we are going to compute the height of the subtrees, right? We are going to compute the height of the subtrees. We are going to use this particular function to compute the height of the subtrees as usual. And while I am computing the height of this tree, that time I know that I always compute the left subtree height and right subtree height, right? Always I compute the left subtree height and right subtree height. So every time, whenever left subtree and right subtree are computed, why not compute left subtree plus right subtree plus 1, that point only, at that time only, and keep track of the maximum of the values. Getting the point? To make it more clear, suppose you have a node. So now understand the problem of finding the height of the tree. Whenever we used to find the height of the subtree, what we used to do, I pass this root node, I will ask them to compute the maximum height in the left subtree, maximum height in the right subtree, and height in the left subtree, height in the right subtree. Now this function is called again. Now again what will it do? Recursively it will compute the height in the left subtree, height of the right subtree. Again this will compute the height of the left subtree, height of the right subtree. This will also compute the height of the left subtree, height of the right subtree. So every node is basically computing the height of the left subtree and the height of the right subtree. And then we used to return what? We used to return the maximum of left height comma right height plus 1. This was nothing but the height of the tree. This is how we used to compute the height of the tree. Now the idea that we used is, since at every node we are computing the left height and the right height, at every node we are computing the left height and the right height. So if at that node, if I compute left height plus right height plus 1, don't you think it will give me the diameter of the tree? Definitely it will give me the diameter of tree. So I am just calculating, while I am calculating the height of the tree, I am also parallelly calculating the diameter of that subtree, that particular subtree, and I am comparing it with the maximum value. Initially my maximum value is 0, so I will be just keeping track of the maximum diameter. So this height function, we know that its complexity is of order n, right? Because it is going to traverse the complete node, all the nodes, so order of n. So I am traversing all the nodes, all the subtrees, and basically what happens is, at the same time I am just computing the diameter also, right? So you see the time complexity drastically reduced from order of n square to order of n, right? Just using this height function only, I was successfully able to compute this particular diameter of the binary tree, right? So I hope this video was helpful. In case of any doubt, please feel free to put it out in the comment section. Just like, share and subscribe. Thank you.